A week after President Trump ordered a halt to insurance subsidies that sustain the Obamacare markets, a bipartisan deal has emerged in the Senate that would overrule him. And now, in another baffling reversal, he says he supports the deal. Hope lives. Trump's moves in recent days were revealing. He is no longer just ranting about Obamacare, has taken concrete steps to crush it, leaving nothing in its place. His intention, no doubt, is to shift the blame to Democrats once the damage sets in. It is a cynical strategy, one that reveals a chilling indifference to the predictable harm this will inflict on millions of Americans. The progress on Tuesday was a baby step, an agreement between two leading senators to restore subsidies to insurers that provide coverage to low-income families. It faces a steep climb, given that it would become law only if both houses approve it, and Trump agrees to sign what finally emerges. Still, it is a step toward sanity and could strengthen the bargaining position of those who want to protect the Obamacare markets. It is the work of two senior members of the Senate committee that oversees health issues, Senator Lamar Alexander, a Republican of Tennessee, and Senator Patty Murray, a Democrat from Washington. These subsidies help cover out-of-pocket costs for low-income families and cost about $9 billion a year. Insurers warn that, if the subsidies end, they will have no choice but to sharply raise rates on everyone to recoup their costs, or to leave the Obamacare exchanges altogether. Alexander and Murray now propose to continue these subsidies for 2 years. Trump's order is a transparent attempt to provoke a death spiral that would ruin the Obamacare exchanges. That spiral starts when premiums rise too sharply, prompting younger and healthier people to stop buying insurance altogether. That leaves behind a sicker and older pool of customers, forcing insurers to raise rates again. And so on. Why he reversed himself within days is anyone's guess. This fits neatly with Trump's second recent initiative to allow insurers to sell cheaper plans with fewer benefits. That too will allow younger and healthier people to segregate themselves, leaving an older and sicker pool of patients that will inevitably have to shoulder higher costs themselves. It is social Darwinism, helping the strong at the expense of the weak, an echo of his earlier plan to savage Medicaid spending and use the proceeds to finance a tax cut tilted sharply towards the rich. You can blame the narcissistic billionaire in the White House, but the truth is the Republican Party, driven by its wealthy donor base, embraced that cold philosophy long before Trump's election. For at least a handful of Republicans, it has gone too far. This compromise hasn't reached the House yet, but it is in keeping with a proposal from the Problem Solvers Caucus, drafted in part by Representative Josh Gottheimer D5, and supported by Representative Leonard Lance R7. Also joining moderates to block the Obamacare repeal were Representative Frank LoBiondo R2 and Chris Smith R4. The villains in that story were Rep. Rodney Frelinghuysen R11 and Rep. Tom MacArthur D3, the only two New Jersey members who supported a full repeal even after the Congressional Budget Office warned that 23 million Americans would lose coverage. Trump, of course, promises that his changes will work miracles. But who can take him seriously at this stage? He promised repeatedly that he would ensure that all Americans had coverage, and then he pushed a plan that would take it away from those 23 million. He promised he wouldn't cut Medicaid spending, then proposed the steepest cuts in the history of the program. He is a serial liar, flat out. Given Republican control in Washington, it falls to moderates in the party to contain the damage. You have to hope that New Jersey voters will be watching carefully. More Tom Moran columns. Tom Moran may be reached at tmoran@starledger.com or call 973 8364909. Follow him on Twitter @TomMoran. Find NJ.com opinion on Facebook.